Now, these are expensive trips, but this talk of $2 billion, $2 million, $100 million a day is malarkey. Again, a word I've used the third time tonight because it's appropriate, according to the GAO. And now the White House communication director put out the following statement. I guess they felt they had to fight this clatter of disinformation. Quote, let us be unequivocal. The numbers reported have no basis in reality due to security concerns. We can't get into details associated with the procedures of security and costs, but it's safe to say these numbers are wildly inflated and President Obama's costs are in line with the cost of protecting previous presidents, obviously. Joan Walsh is editor of Salon.com. Ari Rabenhoff is vice president of Media Matters. I want to go to Ari, first of all. You guys are pretty good at these numbers, and I want to ask you about this. First of all, I consider this whole thing disgustingly ad hominem. It's an attack on our president, and sometimes I do think there's an ethnic aspect. I've never heard of a president being attacked on the cost of his trips. Like he's not worthy to travel because of what? Why isn't he worthy to make a presidential trip to one of the most important countries in the world right now, India? India and China are the future. If we're not dealing with them, I don't know who we should be dealing with overseas. Denmark? I don't know, but I do think there's a personal aspect to this, and I mean personal about this president, this attack on him, and they were going to keep doing it. And I'm telling you, this is what it's about now. It's about personal destruction of the president, regardless of his policies. He could go sign every tax cut they want. They're still going after him.
Right. And you know, they went after him about redecorating his office, which he didn't even use public money, Chris. They went after his wife's last vacation. They just keep coming. And it starts to add up, and it starts to seem like this president isn't entitled to the same kind of protection and the same kind of dignity, frankly, that other presidents are, you know. And you also had a president who preceded him, George W. Bush, who spent an inordinate amount of time simply on vacations. He didn't go on as many foreign trips because he didn't really like the rest of the world. And then, you know, I'm also hearing, well, you know, with unemployment so high and domestic problems so serious, he shouldn't be going. He's actually canceled a version of this trip, not exactly the same trip, twice to deal with domestic problems. And this is a really important part of the world. As you've made this point, India is our partner. This is crucial on economic matters as well as strategic and diplomatic matters. So there's so many reasons for him to take the trip. It's an important trip. There's no evidence that he's doing anything more lavish than anybody else. And you do kind of get the feeling that it's all aimed at this particular president doesn't deserve the dignity that others did.
Yeah, I also think they're putting down India, too. Like, they don't like it's third world, you know. It's not a white country. Chris. Let's be honest about it. You know, I'm looking at the pattern here. For a long time, we had members of the United States Congress who bragged about the fact that they never had a passport. They'd never been out of the country. They're completely homegrown, and they never want to see the rest. You know, I'd rather be a lamppost in New York than the president of France, the Popeye Doyle line. It was a cute line, but does anybody want them representing them on foreign policy when they have that attitude? French fries have to be changed to freedom fries. This sort of idiot high school stuff that the Republicans now call public information now. They're putting out statements. And then, of course, Rush Limbaugh. I mean, is this rip and read from the Indian press? Is this the new standard now? Anything you get from some stringer operation. It wasn't even an American newspaper stringer over there. It was some newspaper. They just liked the fact that it was dirt.